crowd need one. There's not been one yet in the tournament. But yeah, like I said, hopefully it's a tournament to remember, and it's a good one for the future.
I feel good. This morning I woke up a bit tired still, being from the game, maybe from a late night, but you know, coming here I feel refreshed. Yesterday it was a long game, but it didn't feel like a long game because I was enjoying it so much. So when I saw the result in the end, like 42 legs up there, I didn't feel like it. So yeah, we look forward to tonight.
What does it mean? Has it sunk in yet? You're playing in the World Final?
No, not at all. Probably won't today, not even tomorrow. Maybe next week, but we'll see. You know, especially with these games falling up each other so quickly, you don't get time to think about stuff, to think about you're in the World Championship final. I think it's a good thing, so I don't start to get extra nervous. So, you know, I'm living in my own bubble.
Gian van Veen, and before him you heard the thoughts of Luke Littler, the reigning world champion. Paul Nicholson and Chris Mason alongside me in the commentary box. Is there any bearing, Mace, Nico, on the fact that Gian van Veen was on stage till a bit later than Luke Littler last night, wouldn't have finished his media duties and got back to his hotel till early hours of this morning? Does that make any odds at all?
Well, it depends if he's one of these, like a Kevin Painter, that could just go to sleep at the flick of your finger, then he's all right. But I should imagine it took a while for him to unwind and mentally sort of come to terms with what's going on. And listen, tiredness is the killer in this sport, you know, because mentally you become weak, you make errors. We've seen counting and mathematical errors from players who have looked jaded and tired. We had a few from Gary, didn't we, last night, as the match was getting deeper and deeper. So it could well do. Luke's had the experience of doing this all before, which sounds ridiculous when you're talking about an 18-year-old kid. But you know, this is not his first rodeo. It's not even his second rodeo. It's his third.
One of the best things that you can have in your life is the ability to switch off when you've lost or won. And one of the greatest things that Phil Taylor and Gary Anderson especially had was this ability to leave the building, have about half an hour, switch off. And Gary could sleep for Scotland. He could sleep for 24 hours straight if he wanted to. And I think that's one of the reasons why he's been so good at staying around so long, because he's been able to rest fantastically. I see this in Littler. We don't know this about Gian van Veen. We might just learn a little bit more about that tonight.
I mean, they are both very laid-back characters, aren't they? They're not particularly vocal about anything or get overly excited about anything. When we spoke to them about the money, it was like, well, let me and Nico have it then, you know, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be a fantastic final. Listen, when we seen the match come up against Gary Anderson, we just knew it was going to produce, and it did. It was remarkable, and I expect the same tonight.
The range of averages is something that we all talk about an awful lot. Between, what I mean by that, for those unaware, is where his worst three-dart averages to where his best three-dart averages over the course of a year. And there's very little to tell in the ranges between these two. Their consistency is fantastic.
10, but when your lowest is 97, 98, that range is ideal.
Yeah.
Because it gives you that ability to find another gear and find those 4 visit legs you need to get ultimately breaks a throw in this format.
They all say that averages do lie, and more often than not, they do not matter. But they do tonight, because if you average 98 up there, you're not going to win this game. We know from what we've seen from these two over the last couple of days that they're going to have a lot of visits that are 4 visit legs. And especially when they're going to have to defend their own throw effectively. They're going to have to find those 11 and 12 darters. And the bad legs, I think, are going to be 15s and 16s. There's going to be some key misses in this final. I just wonder when they will be.
It's extraordinary to think that Luke Littler already has 9 major titles to his name. Wade is on 11, and then you have this huge leap to Michael van Gerwen and Phil Taylor.
He's a better player than Wade. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, James started winning titles at 17, and that was about 23, 24 years ago. But the thing about Littler, he's more explosive. James was very mechanical, and he was really good at hitting 9 darters at the start of his career, but he didn't have that explosiveness. And let's not forget that James had this guy called Taylor in his way a lot, and then he had Prime Van Gerwen. Littler hasn't got Prime Van Gerwen, he hasn't got Taylor at all. So we have to take that into consideration.
All he's got to take now in terms of major trophies is the Windmill World Masters, which comes around again very shortly
January,
this year.
End of January.
And then the European Championships in the autumn, which is the title that his opponent tonight holds, Van Veen.
Yeah, the one thing I fear about him winning that is it's in Germany and there's no love lost, because they got on his back at a tournament and just didn't give him a break, and he was like, that's how they want to treat me, I won't play darts.
And he had a run-in with Petrechko out there, didn't he, in the Euro Tour event early on in his
I think that was the start of the problem, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, the thing is, if it was that easy, everybody would do it. There's always going to be one title that would just be a little bit harder to get. I mean, you look at James Wade, he can't win this. He's been around for 2 decades. You're not going to win
won pretty much everything else.
Exactly. You're not going to win everything easily. The Europeans is for 10 months' time. As for this one tonight, he just wants to continue to defend things. He's defended the Belgian Darts Open. He's never lost in Weser, Belgium. He loves that place. He also likes this place because he's only lost once here, 2 years ago to Luke Humphreys in the final.
You are listening to the World Darts Championship final, live on talkSPORT in partnership with Village Hotels. Rooms from £55 in the Big Village sale. Book now at villagehotels.com. Less than 10 minutes until the players make their walk onto the stage. It's the best of 13 sets in these World Championship finals, so the first of 7 sets gets the job done. And how crucial is it, Chris Mason, Paul Nicholson, that Gian van Veen has won the bullseye backstage so that he gets the darts in the odd-numbered sets?
Well, for me, it's imperative that he goes 1 or 2 up, because I think if he gets out of the block slow and Littler starts to get on a bit of a charge, that's when he starts to move through the gears. You've got to try and contain. It was a bit like playing Prime Taylor. If you could just stick in there and not let him start to bully, you're in with a shout. But if he goes down early, he's in a world of trouble. I think it's going to be 7-5 to Littler, because I just can't see how he can run through him. But that's literally only if Van Veen makes a good start.
I've heard that scoreline so much today, Nico.
It's been so popular because everybody's thinking the same way. They believe that Littler's going to defend the title and become the first person to do that for a decade. But I look at this game in the same way that I looked at the 2004 final between Kevin Painter and Phil Taylor. What Kevin did really well at the Circus Tavern 22 years ago is he stuck with him through thick and thin, all the way through the start, the middle, towards the end, and he just got pipped in a last leg decider. You've got the dominant player in Littler, so he's playing the Taylor role, and Van Veen's playing the Painter role. If it goes 64 legs or more tonight, we could have the greatest game that we've ever had at the Palace, maybe even the greatest World Championship final. The ingredients are there.
Well, we've already had a couple of them this week, haven't we? That certainly would feature in most people's top 10. The Noppert match
against Justin Hood,
and that Anderson and Van Veen match last night, which that 5th set, I think it's up on YouTube. So when you get some downtime and you need your darts fix, go and watch that.
That set on its own is outstanding stuff. Look, we've been here since December the 11th, which is when this tournament started, and we started whittling 128 players down to 2. I want to say thanks to a lot of people, because Darts on the Radio doesn't happen without the team that puts it all together. Notably our producer Matt Gubbins, who's in the commentary box with us right at this second, who keeps us on air and herds us as best he can throughout these different sessions that we have, afternoon and evening sessions. So many thanks to you, Matt. Also to Laura Turner, to Chris Murphy, to Scotty Dog, Scott Mitchell, to Abigail Davis, and to Mark Wilson, who's here tonight. He'll be picking up commentary halfway through to take you through to the conclusion. The guys who've been on the mic, as well as you two guys.
And thanks to you, Dance. You've been here since the start, and we can't forget our old friend Nigel Pearson. He would have loved this tonight. He would have absolutely loved it.
I found a little post online that he joined us in 2021 for the Gervin Price final.
Yes, it was behind
closed doors.
Yeah.
That was the last final that he did with us, and we still miss Nigel dreadfully, and John Gwynn, who joined us for a couple of World Championships after his career in television commentary. But Darts on the Radio, it's a labour of love for all of us. We love bringing it to you. We're so glad you enjoy it. We've got thousands already watching our YouTube page, which we launched a year ago here at Alexandra Palace, and it's been a rip-roaring success, and we thank you for that. And now we're in the stage where every dart is also on the talkSPORT app, which is something we weren't able to bring you before. So this sport keeps on snowballing and snowballing in terms of how much you guys want to lap it up and how much we want to keep bringing it to you. So Darts on the Radio will be back as 2026 progresses, you can be certain of that. Back to Van Veen. No player has ever held the Youth Championship and the Senior World Championship at the same time. Let's make a case for Van Veen. I mean, I think what you said is quite important, Mace, that he's got to go 2-0 up. I said that to somebody a little earlier, so we're kind of on the same page there.
At worst, 1-1, then 2-2. He just cannot afford to give that kid a lead where he's comfortable and he starts to express himself, because that's when you see the best of him. He challenges himself. He challenges himself with the way he plays, the numbers game that he plays as well.
Do their games suit one another, their throwing styles?
Yeah, 100%, because they're playing at the same pace. And I'm with Mace. I think this is going to have to be toe-to-toe darts from Van Veen. He's going to have to stick with him. But the one thing he can't do in the first half of this final, indeed at any point in this final, is he can't have his bad set. He will have one, but he can't have that bad set when he's 1 or 2 behind, because that is when Luke Littler smells blood.
Nico, thank you for the time being. Paul Nicholson will be back with Mark Wilson during the course of this commentary. The two players are just emerging to take their places on the walkway, and we're about to hear from the last time at a major televised darting final from our MC John McDonald, who served the PDC with huge distinction over 2 decades, but he's hanging up his microphone after tonight. And we also say ta-ra to George Noble, who will be refereeing this final from the get-go. George has also spent over 20 years as a PDC referee, one of the greats of our sport, one of the most recognisable voices in darts, and we thank both of them for their enormous contributions to this sport. But let's get to the stage, because John is about to speak for the last time.
Hello and a very warm welcome. You've joined us live on Sky Sports from the Alexandra Palace, London. This is the final of the Paddy Power World Darts Championship. 128 players came, 2 remain. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet our finalists. Firstly, our markers this evening are Luke Guest and Scott Gibling, and our referee, newly inducted into the Hall of Fame, and his final match this evening, the legend that is George Noble. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands joining us live, and the millions joining us around the world, here we go!
And back in his native Netherlands, Feyenoord Football Club have been showing him great support from Rotterdam, and he joins the referees and the scorers on the stage, walks past the Sid Waddell trophy. Will he get his hands on that later
Just gave
tonight?
it a little glance, didn't he?
I
Sort
would
of a
blame
look
him for
back.
doing that. Yeah. And now for his opponent.
Ladies and gentlemen, from England, it's time to meet the world #1. The winner of the World Matchmake, the UK Open, the Grand Slam and the Grand Prix, the Players' Championship Finals. Ladies and gentlemen, a Premier League champion, the reigning and defending champion of the world. Here's Luke, the new.
Let's have the conversation about how many you can win in 5 years' time. Let's see what his motivation is in 5 years' time.
He won't be around long enough to match or break any of Phil Taylor's records. I just can't see it. I can't see why he would be either. You know, a lot of us played or had to have longevity in the sport because there was no money in it. That's now changed forever. I never ever thought I'd be certainly sat here saying, well, the winner of this gets £1 million. And if you do have any questions or comments for myself, Dan, Smart Wilson, or Paul Nicholson, you can, if you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, contact us through there or use the hashtag Darts on the Radio.
That's right. I've got the YouTube page up here so I can see comments as they're coming in. Keep them clean, keep them respectful. We'll always try and reply to the ones that need answering. So we are underway on talkSPORT. Gian van Veen has the darts in this first set. It's the first to 7 sets that gets the win, and he's underway with a 140 against Littler.
100.
You've got to win 3 legs to win a set. Van Veen there, when he started with a treble 20 with dart 1, I was like, oh hello, here we go. He's making the perfect kind of start. Back-to-back 140s. There's no sort of warming into it or jousting. They're going straight at it.
So is Luke, who can be a bit of a slow starter at times in first sets or first sessions of big matches.
Van Veen picking off the 25, down to 116 after 9. 261 Littler, 2 in the treble. Ooh, deflection. It's okay, still leaves him a finish if he gets a go.
Well, it's a great first start from Van Veen. 56 left, 16 leaves a dart, a double top, which he finds for a ton-plus checkout in the very first leg of the match to Gian van Veen.
Well, that was a 12 dart hold, and that's exactly what we're talking about, because then you're forcing your opponent to produce a 9 to break.
Which is exactly what you and Nico were talking about. Minimise the visits as much as you can against a guy like Littler, who can suddenly go through the gears like he's trying to here. 140, the first 2 darts bang on target, and he always throws that third dart looking for a 180 with that little bit of extra oomph. Van Veen nearly found a maximum there. So nip and tuck in this second leg.
2 single 20s from 261 for Littler. Oof, picks off a ton, down to 161. 264 Van Veen. He's right on the bottom wire of the treble, which is okay for him. Adjusts and drops it straight on for a ton.
There you go, 161 for Littler. First third of that he's done. Treble 20, treble 17. Bull! Just north of it. Clipped the wire on the outside.
Yeah, I'm sure you could hear how close it was. Wow, it'll be no 164 for Van Veen. He misses the treble 19 in the combination.
So 9 for double 8, Luke Littler. Oh, he's actually gone 5 for his favourite, double 10. And there it is. So, 1-1 in set 1.
What a start to this final.
85.
He's won all 3 meetings, has Luke Littler, against Van Veen in terms of televised meetings, including that youth final from just over 2 years ago that I mentioned in our introduction.
This year it's 1-1 on TV, isn't it?
Yeah.
68.
Sorry, this year.
In terms of meetings, well, 3 out of 5 meetings have gone Gian's way in all meetings this year.
But they met in the Grand Prix and in the UK Open, didn't they?
Yes.
So Littler down to 2-2-1 on the Van Veen throws on 300, so a chance to break early. But picked up treble 19 with his final dart to take him down to a 129 finish. Van Veen needs a max or a minimum 140,
which
and that's where he's just gone missing.
40.
Oh dear, just 40 scored. So Littler in the box seat to break throw here. 110 left. Hits the treble 20.
Is he going
Will he go
for it?
for
No. Sensible. Sensible play. 10 for tops. But he misses his favoured tops. He leaves his beloved double 10, which he seems to be able to throw out on autopilot.
81.
Still not down to a finish though, Van Veen. So all the time in the world. And Littler only needs the 1 dart to break throw. Just take that first step to pressurise his opponent. And now he has the darts in leg number 4 to take the first set, Luke Littler.
He's got a real look of menace in his eyes.
59.
Luke Littler, he is absolutely lasered.
You'd have loved to have played him, right? Or wouldn't you?
No, thanks. No. I had 20 years of Taylor, you mad? I don't want to get beat by a kid. He used to moan about getting beat by an old man.
And now a young whippersnapper.
Is the governor.
Certainly seems to be the way. We've had questions saying what happens to Van Veen's world ranking after tonight. Well, he's third.
Yeah, it doesn't
no
change.
matter what.
No, it's no. Even if he won it, it wouldn't be enough to catch Humphries. I don't think.
No,
anyway.
I don't think it would.
I think we would have. That would have been brought up anyway in many interviews he's done.
Oh, big visit from Van Veen. From 3:08, he went to the treble 18s as many players do. Mathematically, it's a good place to go, and he picked off 3 treble 18s to leave himself on 1:46. Littler will get down to a finish,
70.
but there's a chance here to break back for the Dutchman.
Well, he's favourite to break back. He's not going to take out the 1:46. 38 scored, 1:08 left.
57.
Okay, interesting. 140 for Littler.
Well, Littler won't be able to take that out either. 2 single 20s and a 5, so
it's his turn to go missing.
yeah. So 89 Van Veen to bring us back to 2-2 and take us to a deciding leg. 70 left, so he goes up to the 20s. Dart at the bullseye. Well, he was brilliant at it last night, but he's just missed it to the left here.
55% of his attempts at the ball are landed. That's a remarkable stat. Double 5 for the set.
He really went for that, Luke.
Yeah.
He really attacked it. But now Van Veen for double 8. Oh, silence in the Alexandra Palace until Van Veen pins double 8 and takes us to a deciding leg. He's survived and broken back when all seemed inexorably like it was leading to a Littler first set win. So into the deciding leg.
96.
Van Veen starts with just shy of a ton. Littler, great first start in the red bit, follows it in there. And there's your first maximum of the night. That's a very opportune time for the nuke.
Like you say, he makes sure of it on that last start. That was whipped in. 20 and a treble for Van Veen. Good reply. 140 down to 265, but Littler is lurking. Single 20. Single 20. So you won't want to back a max up with a 60.
Remember, the option is there if somebody, and nobody's done it yet, these championships, hits a 9 darter. £60,000 to the player, £60,000 to prostate cancer charities courtesy of the title sponsor, and £60,000 to a random member of the audience whose seat will be generated randomly to win that prize.
But they have to be sat in it.
They have to be sat in that seat.
Well, he's
Van
been a
Veen.
machine on these.
Bullseye for the set for Gian Van Veen. He wants bull. He doesn't get it. And Littler's on 81 for the set now. Oh, he's hit single 3. Oh,
What an absolute disaster. He made a big zero of that.
almost did a Colin Jaws Lloyd and almost punched the board as he retrieved the darts.
No, I can't tell you what he said.
Whereas, double 8 again for Van Veen for the set. Marker outside and too far inside.
Pressure, even this early in the match. Winning set 1 is huge.
Inside double top, double 10 for Littler. A centimetre outside and doesn't find it with a third dot. Normally so reliable on 10s, but not then.
Remarkable, isn't it? They didn't look like they were going to miss anything for 3 legs.
But in the end, Gian Van Veen pins double 4, and a scrappy end to the first set sees the Dutchman go 1 set up, Mace.
Yeah, well, we've seen the reaction from Littler when he missed double 5 off the 95 to win it 3 legs to 1. And then to have them chances, well, he was absolutely boiling. So wait for the reaction.
Second set to come next on talkSPORT in the PDC World Championship final. It is Luke Littler 0, Gian Van Veen 1.
The PDC World Darts Championship live.
It needs to be magic. It needs to be magic. It is magic. 180. Luke Littler Get on target. Magic. It needs to be magic. It is magic. 180. Luke Littler, get on target. To be magic. It needs to be magic. It is magic. 180. Luke Littler, get on target. Magic. It needs to be magic.
Then the reigning champion in that first set, Chris Mason.
Yeah, Littler 102.13, 91.48 in the set for Van Veen, but he still managed to win it. And listen, you know what I'm like if your name's on pot. There were so many times in that Anderson match where things just I mean, it was brilliant from both. Don't get that twisted, but there was little moments where Van Veen got the rub of the green and Anderson got absolutely nothing. Maybe it's just meant to be, who knows, but we're about to find out, because Littler, well, when he went 1-0 down to Ryan Searle, didn't he? And then, wow, what a reaction that was from him. He came out firing in a match that he averaged shade over 105.
Second set underway then on talkSPORT. Littler has the darts and immediately comes downstairs to the 19s. Picks off 4 19s in the end. So Van Veen, who has been very consistent in terms of his finishing on the Pro Tour this year, the most clinical finisher in 2025 on the Pro Tour, 46.8 on his doubling. He's 38% for tonight after that first set.
His tournament doubling 51% coming into this final, which I thought was good, and until I checked out Luke's, which is nearly 55%.
Yeah. And normally dart players are, shall we say, content with around 40% on their doubles as a kind of an average. Now Van Veen looking for his first maximum, and there it is for the Giant.
His throw was looking a bit clunky, but it's all right now as Littler, well, he gets a max on the 19s, 9 of them, 3 trebles. Might count for now. Oh, double 14 for a 145 finish and a breaker throw in leg 1, set 2.
Oh, how about that? A second ton plus checkout for Gian van Veen, and that came from nowhere.
Well, it was 3:25 in 6 starts, and he replicated exactly what he did in the opening leg of the match. He had a 12 darter and a ton plus finish. Well, that time it was a 12 darter, but a break of throw.
174.
Oh, Littler responds at the start of the second leg against the darts with a 174. Van Veen 2 darts right underneath the lipstick,
100.
but a great readjustment with the final dart. The darts that Van Veen throws, they do sit very flat in the board. They stack on top of one of each other, not unlike one Philip Douglas Taylor from back in the day.
Yep, spot on. And Littler's much more traditional, sitting up in the air.
140.
So 127 for Van Veen. Littler trying to come down from 192 to a finish.
Getting the odd stray dart. He's just pushing at the moment. But he's being made to. He's being made to work hard.
44.
And that's not enough.
127.
60's found, surely. Not back-to-backs, double 8. It is back-to-back 12 dart legs.
And back-to-back ton plus finishes from Gian van Veen. A 127 to really lay down a marker here at Alexandra Palace.
Well, at the moment, the people in the building are absolutely stunned into silence with what they're seeing here. Set average for Van Veen, 122.44, courtesy of those back-to-back 12 dart legs.
Silence almost in the Alexandra Palace. It's been very boisterous throughout the 20-odd days since the tournament started. But tonight, it's every eye is trained on that board and that stage. Luke Littler drifts a third dart into each single 5.
Seems to be happening a lot. He's having a, well, he's giving himself a bit of a telling off. Van Veen 3-4-4 needs, well, 3 big trebles. He went for the 174 to leave one. Well, would have left him a lot lower. Would have left him on 170, but double 16.
127.
No finish for Van Veen.
What can he do from 206? Littler sat on double 8 when he comes back. Not a great deal is the answer to that question on Van Veen. Just 60 scored. So 3 darts in hand at double 8. And the second of those gets the job done for Luke Littler. He's got a leg on the board, but Van Veen 2-1 up with the darts in this second set.
Exactly. He'd be quite content to know, well, I got the darts in this leg for a 2-0 lead.
134.
So 134 from Van Veen. Littler trying to respond with a max and gets one. Second of the night for the Nuke.
Yeah, he's had a 171 and a 174. Van Veen 80 with 2, doesn't get the 140, so down to 267. Littler 3-2-1, 4, 5.
Oh. He really hurled that last dart intended for the treble 20, and it just deflected into treble 1 next door.
So I thought it was in.
140.
Really gave it a bit of extra bit of juice. 198 is the target for Littler to get down to a finish from. Brilliant darts, but Van Veen can take the set here.
He's already done this. There's the 60. There's the 51, double 8 for the set.
Not deja vu on this occasion. Outside the line from Gian van Veen. Littler 20 for tops. Another single 20, double 10. There you go, it's 2-2. He's broken back. And now Littler has the darts in the deciding leg in the second set. Great start here on talkSPORT at the Alexandra Palace. As Littler goes searching for another maximum. Well, he goes for 177. I make it that he's hit 198 maximums in his career here at the Alexandra Palace.
Jeez. Did you not go to bed last night?
No.
Oh, he is desperate to hit a 9, but he should be more focused on just 60. Winning this leg.
Yeah, just a treble 7 there upset that visit. What can Van Veen do from 402? Not a great deal at this point. No, trebleless visit. And he knows that's an opportunity wasted.
Yeah, and an opportunity for Littler just to get this set done. He comes up trebleless.
Van Veen can't find a treble until right at the end when he picks off treble 18. Doesn't get him down to a finish though. 206 Littler, 251 Van Veen. Deciding leg of the second set.
Yeah, eventually finds a treble to get him down to a doable 116. 251 Van Veen. May leave 170 and does. So 116 for Littler.
To get us level, treble 19 hit. Wanted it again. Single 19 leaves tops. That's how you take a set out with your first 10 plus checkout. And Luke Littler didn't take long to peg back Gian Van Veen. 2 sets gone, 1 set apiece in the PDC World Darts Final here on talkSPORT. Back shortly with sets 3 and 4 between the reigning champion and the World Youth Champion for the right to win £1 million and the Sid Riddell Trophy.
The PDC World Darts Championship live on talkSPORT with Village Hotels. Get rooms from as little as £55 in the...
It needs to be magic. It needs to be magic. It is magic. 180. Luke Littler gets on target.
Sport at the Alexandra Palace here in North London. Ian Danter and Chris Mason with you. It's 1-1 in sets between the reigning champion Luke Littler and his opponent Gian Van Veen of the Netherlands. Littler getting the second set. Both players in that last set, Chris Mason, averaging well over 3 figures for their 3-dart average.
Yeah, 109.79 for Littler, 108.65 for Van Veen. It's 5 all in legs. You couldn't get a fag paper between them. They're just so well matched. If you look at tournament troubleless turns, 100 for Van Veen, 105 for Littler. Their average is very, very similar. Tournament average of 103 for Littler, 102 for Van Veen, and that's including what we've just seen in the last, well, 13 minutes and 40 seconds of darting drama. They both had Luke had a set dart and lost it in set 1. Van Veen had a set dart and lost it in set 2, so that's about right for me, 1-1.
Van Veen has the darts in the odd numbered sets, which does give him just the slightest advantage. That's what the advantage is when you win the ball backstage an hour before the game takes place.
But ultimately, if everybody held it, it'd end up at 5-all in the 13th set, and he would have the throw.
Yep. So, set 3 of a potential 13. is underway. But only 45 from Van Veen to get things back underway on talkSPORT. And Littler pops in maximum number 199 of his time on that stage.
He's only had, what's this, is...
Well, 19 games he's played here and won 18 of them. The only one he lost was to Luke Humphries in that first final a couple of years ago. Can't follow in the max with a second to edge towards that perfect leg that we haven't had so far at these championships. But there's a max from Van Veen.
A rather strange one. I'm not quite sure how that went in. It looked like it was going to come out, and then it sort of pirouetted in the air and went back in. And 57 takes Littler down to 164 on Van Veen's darts, who's on 176, but he's back in the trouble. He's just having little spells where his throw looks just a bit clunky.
164 for Littler won't
long way away.
Yeah, he was going for treble 19 and was halfway up the small 19. So tops for Van Veen for the first leg. Comfortably done.
That's something he has or did do very well, is look after his own throw.
Littler almost gets a maximum there. 140 will have to do, but it's his throw. Had his best average against Mensah Suljovic in round 3, Littler, where he averaged 107 across the whole game. Van Veen actually slightly bettered that with his average against the Scottish firefighter Alan Souter in round 2, when he averaged 108. And that was once he'd got the millstone round his neck of getting a win on the Ali Palace stage.
Right. It's not been a happy hunting ground until this tournament. I was going to say this week, but it's pretty much 3 weeks long, isn't it?
And somebody was saying that Van Veen is colourblind as well.
Yeah, I seen something about that.
I mean, the segments stay the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't make a great deal of difference whether it's red or green. It's still a segment that Van Veen wants to hit.
He understood there was a chance to break through there, and he come up short. But only a ton, so Littler still with bits to do. 112 needed, 208 Van Veen, single 20. It's in a good spot for him. No, can't make the adjustment. Can't find the 57 either.
Whilst Littler from 112 hits the 12 for tops. And now he has a second ton plus checkout, taken out very nonchalantly there to bring it back to 1-1 in sets and 1-1 in legs.
Again, Van Veen not looking that solid. It doesn't last long, but 1 or 2 visits, maybe all it needs to last, and he responds like this.
Oh. Boom. There goes another maximum for Gian. 24 is the most 180s that have been hit in a single match by a player. That was, well, either Michael Smith or Peter Wright in the 2022 championships. You wouldn't bet against either of those getting close to that tally, although it's only 3-3 at the minute.
I mean, as good as Littler is, what makes this stat so impressive? Michael Smith, 83, and played 1 fewer game.
Yeah, he was a 180 machine around that time, the bully boy. There's a 180. That brings out the double century of Littler 180s at the Alexandra Palace. But here's Van Veen wanting the ball just to the left. Chance for breaker throw here for Littler, 81 required.
Gets the 57, 2 at 24, only needs 1. 11 dart, breaker throw, and again it's a huge average in the set for Littler. He's already had one with a 108.65, 112.66 at the moment. 2-1 up, 1 set apiece, has the darts to move clear.
He just paused to admire that double 12 before he retrieved it from the board.
It's a bit like a golfer when they sort of do that swing and then leave it in the air.
Yeah, once they've sucked a monster 25-footer. So now Littler is a leg away from going 2 sets to 1 up, having been 1 set to 0 down.
And then a poor turn. They're starting to creep in for Van Veen. And another one, 81. So he's down to 362. But Littler at the hockey wants 267 minus these, and he's found 80. Oh. 17s. Yep, leaves 170. I don't know why. There's nothing Van Veen can do from 362 to leave a finish.
Coming down to the 19s, only picks off 4 of them. So it's all in Luke Littler's hands here. The first dart of the big fish is reeled in. How about the bullseye? Yeah, there is the big fish reeled in. He does the time-honoured traditional celebration, reeling it in. But more importantly, that puts him 2 sets to 1 up, Chris Mason.
Yeah, lovely set of darts for him, winning legs. 112 finish in leg 2 for a 15, 11 dart breaker throw with a max, and that 170 for a 12. Wow, wow, wow. Van Veen averaged 102 in the set, did very little wrong.
60.
But it's just those poor turns starting to creep in with more regularity, and they were mightily punished.
So Littler 2 sets to 1 up in a race to 7 in this PDC World Darts Final.
My tip tonight in hospitality was both players to have a 170 at 14 to 1, and guess what? Van Veen's missed one. Just missed the ball. Much to the relief for the title sponsors.
95.
Littler turns 19 in just a couple of weeks' time.
He's not doing bad, is he?
101.
But he's got to watch himself here. Van Veen very cleverly leave himself 170, but Littler's got the throw, and he's on 246. Oh. Needed something like that, found something like that.
So Van Veen, who just missed a big fish a while ago, he's a third of the way to putting that right, but the second dart drifts high.
105.
And he's looking at the board and looking at his darts and saying, this isn't right, this doesn't feel good.
Tops to hold. Wow. Listen to the reaction from Littler. He knew how big that was. Nothing worse than breaking, winning the set, and the very next leg, when you've got the darts, handing them over.
Averaging 107 for the match in total, Luke Littler. 7 points ahead of his opponent. Back in the red bit, another 180 pinned. He's starting to go through the gears here, the Nuke.
He is.
60.
Whilst Van Veen is underpitching all 3 underneath the red bit.
96.
There is a comfort break coming at the end of this set. And Van Veen will want to just collect his thoughts here. Having taken the first set, Luke has suddenly taken 2 sets in quick succession, looks likely to take a third. He really breezed through against Ryan Searle after an initial scare at the start of the semi-final.
He did. He's down to 120 after 9 on the Van Veen throw. So this is for the break and a 2-0 lead in a set that if he wins, it really does begin to gap
96.
his opponent.
But Van Veen has taken out 3-ton-plus finishes. He wants another one now. 129. 18.
He went for 2 18s, went for the 2 18s to get it done. Oh, he's been good on 24. It's getting closer. Just teasing. It is a 15 dart breaker throw dance. Is this starting to go in Littler's favour now?
Littler steps forward to start the third leg of the 4th set. 2 sets to 1 up on talkSPORT. Looking laser focused as usual. Van Veen just starting to tut and talk to himself and mutter.
100.
Not happy with his first dart of the 3, typically. The way he sets up a visit. Whilst Littler just picking off treble 20s and treble 18s with consummate ease.
Yeah, it just every now and again, everything just looks, like I've said, just a bit forced from Van Veen. And the pace of the match or the quality of the match will begin to get you when you feel like you're struggling to keep up. Littler down to 138 for the set.
120.
Yeah, was trying to pop in a 180, but the third dart drifted into the 3 1s. So Littler for the set. 2 treble 19s for double 12, and he's only just inside the wire. A really stylish way to try and bring up the set win.
He literally clipped the wire super close. I think he thought it was in initially. So double six for 3-1 in sets.
Good marker. It's gone further away with dart 2, but hits it with dart 3, and that is a 3-1 lead for Luke Littler, the reigning champion. Gian van Veen quick to exit stage left to compose his thoughts, because having taken the first set, he's found it hard against the reigning champion. He's not quite halfway there, but he's taken a good chunk out of his opponent in these first 4 sets. On talkSPORT in the PDC World Darts Final, it is Luke Littler 3, Gian van Veen 1.
The PDC World Darts Championship live on talkSPORT with Village Hotels. Get rooms from as little as £55 in the Big Village sale. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
Listen up, football fans. BetMGM.
Magic. It needs to be magic. It is magic. 180. Luke Littler gets on target.
Luke Littler, the reigning World Darts Champion, 3-1 up in a race to 7 against Gian van Veen. He lost the first set as well, Littler. He's just rattled off 3 sets in a row.
Well, imagine if he'd have hit that set dart in set 1, we'd be looking at 4-0 and over halfway there. It is a race to 7. Super set from him, 3-15 darters, 2-1-8 is in it. Clinical, hardly gave Van Veen a sniff. Still averaging pretty much 107 as well, 99-98 for Van Veen. So that disparity won't make too much of a difference. It's just the clinical nature of Littler at the moment, and he's starting to turn the heat up in the scoring department. He has got 6 180s, but he's also got 4 scores of 170 or more, including the 170 finish to win set 3.
More live sport for you tomorrow. The football kicks back in once again with games on talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2. Tomorrow lunchtime, Adrian will be at Ellen Road tomorrow lunchtime on talkSPORT for Leeds against Manchester United. in the Premier League at the same time in the Championship. Birmingham City against Coventry City on talkSPORT 2. And then I'll take you around the grounds from 2:30 tomorrow afternoon for Game Day Live with loads of Premier League and pretty much a full programme of EFL tomorrow as well around the country to keep you in touch with goals as they go in from 2:30 on talkSPORT tomorrow afternoon. So set 5 is underway. And Van Veen has the darts in these odd-numbered sets, and boy, oh boy, does he need a set win right now.
Yeah, he's got to win the set. He's got to win this set. You can just start to see a little bit of a dip in the head and a little bit of frustration. But he got put through the ringer last night by Gary Anderson, and he found a way to win. And there's another real loose-looking throw. Just showed a sign someone took their wife here on their honeymoon.
140.
Interesting choice. Don't think I'd get away with that one.
You've got that to worry about later this year.
I have, mate, yeah. So, ton from Van Veen, 137, he's on. Littler, 122, 418s and ball. There's a single, needs a treble. Gets it, needs the ball. Oh. Tell you what, when he has missed it, Dance, he's missed it by a whisker.
He's been skirting on the edge of the wire.
Tops here. There's one of them. Hit the treble 19, hit the tops in the corner. How good is this for ton plus outspin?
Boy, you needed that, Gian Van Veen, and he gets it for a 4-ton plus checkout to just a whole throw at the start of this 5th set. Back comes Littler, 3 darts on a pinhead for maximum number 7 in his favour. This is the classic case of you run out of superlatives to describe what Luke Littler can do with darts in his hand.
Well, I mean, there's been some key, huge finishes that have sort of kept Van Veen in this one at 3-1, and he's just produced another, because if Littler breaks there, he's in absolute world of trouble. 3-7-6, Van Veen, 2 in the trouble. Is that giving him a bit of inspiration?
Well, let's see. That's certainly his 4th maximum. He's 50% on his doubles. Oh,
the Wasp's back, there it is.
The Wasp is back with a vengeance. Went straight for Luke Littler. We've not seen the Wasp for about a week.
Must be a Van Veen fan.
And it's really right around the oche, right around the green exclusion zone. Now it's landed on Luke Littler's black trousers.
Still there.
Still knocking about. Littler, meantime, was mid-throw, picks off 7 19s. Somebody got a can of Raid?
Well, no, why haven't they got that on stage?
Well, one of the dart players did. Was it Yuri van der Velde?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Put a can of Raid onto the stage.
He got a telling off for it. Don't understand it. Great opportunity for the PDC to get a new sponsor on board. 132 then.
Other insecticides are available. Oh, single one hit from Littler from 132, so the finish can't go.
Yeah, we hit the 60. He's putting both on because he's still...
Wasp is still there. Getting around his face now as he retrieves the darts out the board. He's on a mission, that Wasp. Even Van Veen steps back. Now it's after George Noble, the referee. It's not discriminating at all, this Wasp. Have we got the commentary box door shut? Yeah, we have. We're all right.
Yeah, we're all right. We're safe. Well, 60. Needs another. Oh, doesn't get it.
82.
I'm singing Ali Pali Wasp in the crowd. 54 for Littler, 14 for Tops. Great dart to level it up in set number 5 at 1 leg apiece.
But seriously, it could, they've got to do something.
140.
Well, we are told, there was an expert on John Hawksby and Jacobs who said these wasps, they're queen wasps that are sort of awoken from their winter slumbers by the heat that's generated from the lights on the stage. They're not intending to be aggressive.
57.
They're just sort of slightly drowsy as much as anything else, because this is not their time of year.
No.
91.
There was one nestled inside Ross Smith's collar of his shirt early in this tournament.
And he was winning while he left it there.
Yeah,
Until he removed it.
43.
Now, those darts that Van Veen throws have got really, rough, serrated edges. It drew blood.
Yes.
Last night.
Well, it was the same thing happened to him in the European Championships.
Littler, meantime, is down to a finish of 130 against the throw. And Van Veen can't touch him at this point. 90 left. Hits the ball for tops.
Yeah, picks it off. Nothing Van Veen can do back on 204. He can apply a bit of pressure, which he's doing.
140 will have to do, but Littler to break wants tops for a 2-1 lead. Underneath, double 10. There it is, 2-1 Littler in the 5th set.
And that's the break of throw that Van Veen was trying to avoid. He's now 3 sets to 1 down and 2-1 down with Littler at the hockey with 2 treble 20s in.
139.
Van Veen's up against it here, but he's responding well at the start of this leg. 140.
Fabulous. And Littler again with one of them wild 5s. Does come downstairs on the 19s and gets 2 of them. So he's down to 243. Van Veen 361. He needs to back that up with another 140, which he does. Down to 221. He is showing some guts here.
Littler comes downstairs to the 19s and picks off 6 of them quite beautifully to get down to a finish of 109 to take the 5th set.
Oh no, a 20 and then a 1. Oh, rescued it well. Because listen, 140 seems like a long way away. Not the way he's been finishing. If he gets a go, 12 for tops.
Tops for 4-1. No, he's underneath Littler.
Right, 2 treble 20s, double 10 here, or it could be 18s. It is, it's treble 20. Oh, he went for tops, and he's just... I think he should have stayed there. That looked a good line for him.
It did look a good line. But Littler wants 2 10s. Oh, he nearly hit double 6 next door. He's inside double 10. How about double 5? There you go, 4-1 to Luke Littler. He's not happy having to pin double 5 to get the set done. But again, 107 average in that set. Luke Littler is powering towards victory. He just needs 2 more sets to see off Gian Van Veen and retain the PDC World Darts Championship title. And he's managed to dodge the Ali Pali Wasp not once but twice. Mark Wilson and Paul Nicholson will guide you through to the conclusion of this game on talkSPORT, where it is Luke Littler 4, Gian Van Veen 1 in a race to 7.
The PDC World Darts Championship live on talkSPORT with Village Hop.
It's a 4-1 lead here. Gian van Veen, the young Dutchman, with plenty of work to do. Van Veen averaging over a ton, but that's simply not adequate enough. 107.06 for Luke Littler, who's also 44% on the doubles. Van Veen feeding on scraps at the moment. Mark Wilson and Paul Nicholson to take you through the remainder of the final live here on talkSPORT. You are listening to the World Darts Championship live on talkSPORT in partnership with Village Hotels, with 34 locations across the UK. Visit villagehotels.com. And well, so far, Paul Nicholson, the thing that's given Luke Littler the most problems has been the Ali Pali Wasp, because he's playing some exquisite darts.
The audacity of that Wasp to not come back after Christmas but then wait for the final. Talk about a show pony. Well, on the stage, Littler's playing a very aggressive brand of darts. After a very intriguing first set, which Van Veen took by 3 legs to 2, we thought it was maybe going to set the tone for a really close final. But after leg 2 of the second set, Littler is taking control, winning the vast majority of legs, overpowering Van Veen in the scoring department, bagging the 170 finish, the number 17th of the tournament. And he looks in a menacing mood. He doesn't want to let Van Veen anywhere near him. And he's got that look in his eye that he gets now and again, one of ferocity, and he can manage it.
What can Van Veen do from here? I mean, the biggest problem he's got now is that in the next set, Littler's got the throw again, so it's advantage Littler, a big favourite to be 5-1 in front.
I said at the top of the show with Danson Mace that if Littler gets a 2-set advantage after 4 sets, Littler's not going to lose this game. He's now got a 3-set advantage. What he's got to hope for is that Littler just comes down a peg and Van Veen gets that second win that he desperately needs at this point. Shots that he gets at the outer ring, his 50% to this point is still world class, but he's going to have to go up a notch. It's getting to the stage where he can't afford to miss any chance he gets.
Oh, he's going to have to turn it up. Luke Littler back on the stage with Gian van Veen. Race to 7, of course. Will it be back-to-back for Littler? Just the 4th player in the PDC era to achieve that feat. Or will Gian van Veen become the first person to hold the World Youth Championship and the world title and the same calendar year? Van Veen in vain at the moment. He got off to that good start and he's not faded away. He's been overpowered by Littler. And Littler will be hoping to continue that here at the Palace. A packed-out Palace. And they'll be wanting a 9-darter as well, Paul Nicholson. We were backstage. Littler started a few sets with a max, but can't quite get the 9 yet.
Yeah, he can't quite get to visit 3. Let's find out if he can do it in this leg, because he starts with a max again. That is, ironically, number 9 for him in this game. That sends a message to Gian as if to say, you can't catch me. But he almost did with his first 3 darts of this 6th set.
Yeah, well, he's in. That is 4 now. Here we go. He said on talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel today he wanted a 170, he wanted a 9, and he wanted the title. He's hit a 170. Is he about to get a 9?
This is step 2. Everybody wants him to hit this apart from Van Veen. Littler's not going to get it. He's north of the 60, but then he hits it with dart 2. He is beside himself.
Well, he is, but after 9 he's down to 54, and Van Veen here, who's peppering the red bit himself for a max, but it's 54 for Littler.
Big 14 safe, looks at tops, misses it with the first attempt, and the second. Van Veen, to his credit, put him under pressure with the max to leave 90. Now it's got to go. Double 15, Littler territory. Last dart in hand at double 15. Can he slide it in, Van Veen? He can't. That was a big opportunity, and that's the kind of thing he can't afford to miss.
Yeah, and he shrugs his shoulders as he collects his darts. Littler just over the top, but in. Tops at the 4th attempt, and Van Veen misses a big opportunity to break at the start of the 6th set. 4-1.
We have
60.
Something on the dartboard akin to blood. That may just be a cut finger again for Van Veen. This happened towards the end of the semi-final with Anderson. Those darts he uses, the man in black and white, are extremely sharp. They have a diamond dust on them, which is very intricate to manufacture. It's helped him an awful lot in his career. But over the last 3 months, they've actually opened him up whilst he's been in a long format match. European Championship final, which he won. Littler on 2-6-1 after 6. Here comes Van Veen. Cut hand or not, he gets a max to lead 204.
Yeah, he's scoring well at the minute, but Littler is coming back at him from 2-6-1. He gets a maximum. It's raining maximums. That's the 5th in just over a leg and a half.
That's 18 for the game. Hammer and tongs darts on talkSPORT. Even the 140s look like 180s, but this is 81 for Littler, 19 hit. He gets a 12, he needs the ball. That bullseye is not being hit tonight to finish legs. Van Veen's got a chance here to hold and make it 1-1 in set 6.
Yeah, 64, 2 singles 16s. Now he needs the double for levelling up set 6 at 1 leg each, and he's hit the wire, and they're just not going in at the moment for Gian Van Veen.
Littler 25, there's the big 5. This is double 10 left, so he's got to hit 5s. That was fierce. He gives double 5 a bit of a stare, as if to say, there's no way you're not getting hit right here. Powered past the flight that hit the single 5, and that gives him a 2-0 lead in set 6, and he's off to a flyer in leg 3.
Yeah, this is getting relentless now. It is raining maximums here.
Can't imagine what kind of brolly you would need for raining maximums. Tell you what, I think Van Veen could use one. Again, he doesn't get the second visit
96.
to set up the 9. 3-2-1, turns into 2-2-5, but Van Veen's starting to wilt here. His 3-6-7.
41.
And he only finds 41.
Well, he looks physically and mentally beaten here, Van Veen, at the moment. He needs something to kickstart his night, or it's going to run away from him pretty quickly.
There was a big puff of the cheeks there from the Dutchman as well, as if to say, my word, what am I in for now? He might be feeling the effects of last night. Littler's on 120 for the set.
Yeah, there's been a lot of the lurgy going about. It sounded like he had a bit of a snuffle himself this morning. But when Littler's averaging 106.87, you need everything to be perfect to go toe-to-toe with him at the moment. Here on talkSPORT, it's not quite happening for the Dutch youngster. 60 for a 5th straight set, and 60 Littler delivers, and he's now 2 away from the match. His parents look on, and Littler is in complete control here. I mean, are they going to change the board? I think they are going to change the board. That bit of blood is, well, is it a health? I'm not sure it is.
It's actually the right thing to do. There is a precedent for this. Some people have been wounded by their own dart, and Littler and Van Veen are actually having a conversation on the stage as if to say, well, I didn't ask for the board to be changed. This is a referee decision, and I believe it's the right one, because it means that with a red blotch on the white 5, it means that the integrity of the board has changed. It's no longer a solid segment.
Well, they are changing it, and just like a Formula 1 pit stop, it's been and gone. Van Veen with the throw, the start of set 7, and it is a set you feel he simply has to win. He did have darts to win the opening 2 legs of the last set, but he missed on both occasions, and when you're only getting minimal opportunities, any misses being punished.
Change of board might be a change of fortune for Van Veen, but it might be a change of fortune on the 9 attempts for Littler as well. Last 4 set scores, 3-1, and that was when Van Veen went 1-0 up. 3 legs in a row to Littler, then 3-0 to Littler, 3-1 again, then 3-0. This is a pummeling, and he doesn't want to let anything go at the minute. It's like a vendetta he's got.
Yeah, well, we spoke to him earlier on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. He said, I'm determined to start quickly, Littler. He said, I know I've been a little bit slow out of the blocks, but if his legs score, it's 17-7, as you said, it's a domination. And Van Veen, who was sorely tested last night, were a bit of a walk in the park for the defending champion Littler. But he's making light work here. Hockey time, just over 34 minutes, and it's 5-1.
This could be the quickest final we've ever had, because we've got 2 quick players. Littler's on 127, there's a small 20, 57, not found, too low. Goes for the 16s and gets 3 of them to lead tops. Van Veen 110, he's got to have to hit this. Needs treble 18 and double 18, and he misses the treble. Chances are there, but he's not taking any of them now.
No, last night those were going. Tonight they're not. Tops missed by Littler, needs 10s, 1 dart left in hand, and it's the old third dart killer. Just as Van Veen thought he was going to get a chance, it was ripped out of his hands by the 18-year-old darting genius from Warrington.
Well, this is 18-7. This were the match play final in Blackpool. It'd be game over after 25 legs. He's so comfortable in this range, Littler, 106. The amount of times he's had an average in this range on this stage is inordinate, but this is his comfort zone now.
Yeah, averaging 104 for the tournament. I mean, Van Veen's averaging just short of 102, but it's just not enough tonight.
At this point, he's averaging 100 exactly. Well, he was, until he hit that 140. Van Veen looks over his right shoulder as if to say, whoever's whistling, please stop. And everybody concurs with that.
Yeah, no need. Well, that doesn't need the crowd against him as well. As the world #1, who's crashed through the £2 million earnings in the 2-year cycle on the order of merit, and he's going to be nearly 3 million in when he wins tonight, if he wins.
2.77 million would be the new world record in the #1 position in the world. Treble 7 after a single 19 and a treble 20 leaves Littler on 64 for 2-0 in set 7. If the 146 for Van Veen doesn't go, this chance has got to go. Double 16 after 6 19s are found just on the outside, and another chance slips by.
Yeah, another one slips through his fingers. 8 will leave 16 for Tops for a 2-0 lead, and Littler is running riot here at the Palace. We expected a really big matchup here tonight on talkSPORT 2, but Gian Van Veen's time is running away. Needs more darts like that.
Yeah, but there was a slump of the shoulders as soon as he hit the max, because back comes Littler. This should be a max as well. He actually gate crashed his own markers there by going above the 60. And what's Van Veen up to here? He gets 6 perfect darts. Well, this would be irony. If he gets the 9, he gets the thing that Littler wanted tonight. But back comes Luke with a max of his own.
What a leg of darts. Are we going to see perfection at the Palace? Is this the kickstart that Gian Van Veen needs? He's just the wrong side of the wire in the treble 5. And he hits the outer ball to leave 96. He is first to a finish, but again, he just looks as though he realises this opportunity is sliding away from him, as Littler is also on a 2-dart out.
It's a chance to save the set. Treble 20 found. Double 18. Missed low. Double 9's got to go. It doesn't. Can't hit a double at the minute. And Littler poised on 54 after 9 to take the set and go 6-1 up. He's not missing anything. 107 average, and he's now 1,503 points, which is 3 legs of darts away from retaining his World Championship mark.
Yeah, it's a masterclass from Littler. He is on top here. Van Veen has not got the answers. He slaps himself on the forehead as he trots off down the Ali Pali steps. For Littler, almost like he's enjoying every second on stage. He's got nothing to worry about. He's 3 legs potentially away from the match. Van Veen's doubling trouble. Well, they're going to harm his chances of becoming a new world champion here. He needs a minor miracle, a darting miracle, if he's going to turn it around. Littler leads Van Veen by 6 sets to 1.
The PDC World
Luke Littler's charge towards back-to-back PDC World Darts Championship titles is at full pace. 107 plus the average, 44% on the doubles, 14 maximums, and he's one set away. Gian van Veen won the opening set of the match, but he's not really had too many chances thereafter. He has missed multiple darts in the last couple of sets, but his body language not what we saw last night. Mark Wilson with Paul Nicholson live at the Palace. We brought you every dart live across the talkSPORT network, and I get the feeling, Paul Nicholson, we're not going to get too many more tonight.
I don't think so either. This has been the personification of dominance from a very fierce and focused Luke Littler. 107.13 constitutes his best performance on this stage to this point. It really doesn't matter whether it's a personal best average. He just needs 3 more legs from this set, or another set potentially, to get it over the line. And he's not in the mood to mess around. He starts what could be the final set with his 15th maximum.
58.
Yeah, Gian van Veen has had some really good tussles with Luke Littler, beat him 3 times in the last calendar year in their 5 meetings, but he's got no answers here. And you do wonder how much that semi-final took out of him late last night. But even a fully fit Van Veen would have had his hands full with this version of Littler.
100%. When we started darts on the radio at the back end of 2017, we had that Cross Van Gerwen semi-final that went 6-5. It was an all-time classic. But I think one of the reasons why Rob Cross was able to win the final was that he had a day off after the semi before the final. It was a classic last night with Van Veen and Anderson. He didn't have that luxury.
No, he didn't. He was here till after midnight.
96.
I'll be disappointed with how he's finished. I think he's fed on scraps. He's still 35%, which is okay, but okay doesn't cut it against this fella. And the body language of Van Veen is one of a young man whose dreams are not going to be realised here tonight. He will get a chance to put some pressure on here because Littler's left 72, 188 for Van Veen, and even if he fills it up, you'd still be backing Littler to win the leg.
Yeah, he's currently 44% on doubles as Littler. 72, he's got a 60. He's missed double 6 left, double 3. 2 legs away from the title now. He could be en route to setting a new record as well at the PDC World Championship. He's currently 52% on doubles for the tournament, and that would smash the previous record by 5%.
100.
He is on fire, Luke Littler. His 3rd final in 3 years, and he's only 18 years of age. Utter dominance from the young man from Warrington.
And he could be, and probably will be, the youngest ever 2-time champion. And he could break that record by just 1 day shy of 8 years, taking the record of Adrian Lewis from 2012.
81.
Yeah. Only Taylor, Lewis and Anderson have gone back-to-back at the Palace, but it looks inevitable here on talkSPORT. Busy day of sport across the talkSPORT network tomorrow with the football. Van Veen, 155. Hits treble 20, can't find treble 19. 99, he'll be back for 56. He's just got to try 1 leg at a time to turn this around. It looks mission impossible.
59, January 56.
But it's not over until it's over. 16, just to hit a double, I think will give him a sense of relief, and he's found one. 56, levels up the 8th set, 6-1, a smile on his face. He knows it's not been his night so far, whereas last night the crowd were booing him a little bit. Now they're roaring him on because they want more darts tonight.
Of course they do. He's just lost the last 10 legs in a row. So a little bit of relief. But that shouldn't last long. If he's got any chance, he's just got to try and chip away set by set. Yes, he's 21-8 down in legs. But you don't look at that statistic. You look at trying to win this set situation. Then another set situation after that.
Yeah, 1 building brick at a time. You are listening to the World Darts Championship live on talkSPORT in partnership with Village Hotels. Rooms from £55 in the Big Village sale. Book now, villagehotels.com.
Van Veen 363. Littler's already on a finish of 150. He's questioning whether to do something here, but this is the World Championship final. He's not going to go 3 bulls. He's got treble 20. He's got another one. Double 15. Misses it just on the inside. That would have been his second biggest finish of the match, behind the 170, which he found a little bit earlier on.
Yeah, Van Veen has won 8 legs. 4 of them have been on Tom Plus checkouts. 15 then. It'll be 3 for double 6. It will. Double 6 he needs, and double 6 Luke Little gets. He's now 1 leg away from £1 million jackpot prize and a second successive Sid Waddell trophy.
Nobody has ever thrown a dart for £600,000. That might happen in this leg. Well, there's a dart on the floor for Littler, and miraculously, that's only the second time that's happened to him in this tournament.
41.
Van Veen only 41. He's on 320. He has got a significant lead though. Littler on 461. He's trying to creep closer, and he will do. George Noble's career might be about to come to an end here at the Alexandra Palace as well tonight.
59.
Lots of last things here at the Palace here this evening, as Dan said at the top of the show. Is that the last maximum of this tournament? He's now got 16. That's an up number. That's how many World Championships Phil Taylor's got. And it's 147 to win the whole thing.
And he's got 2 goes at it. And he's in. Is he going to do it in style? He's hit the treble 19. He needs double 15. And we are witnessing sporting brilliance. Littler does go back to back. The 147 out to win it in style. His 4th maximum. Big finish. And he has destroyed one of the best players on the planet. There's a handshake between the two, almost an apology from Gian Van Veen that he hasn't managed to go toe-to-toe with the champion. But Littler has been outstanding from start to finish tonight. Averages over 106. An absolute annihilation of one of his biggest rivals in professional darts. And now the emotion hits Littler. Hands cover his eyes, there's a few tears coming out there. He dominates the darting world at just 18 years of age. He is in tears. And thank you to Gian Van Veen. But this is Littler's darting world, and everyone's just happy to be looking at him doing it. He is outstanding. Littler goes back to back at the Palace.
He's a genius. We are hearing it, we're seeing it, we are experiencing genius from 7'9½". He's broken 2 records in the final. One is for the tournament doubles percentage. He's smashed it. It's now 53%. And with the last 3 darts of the tournament, he's also taken the record for the biggest finish to win the title. He's taken that off Rob Cross from 2018, beaten her by 7 points. And isn't it ironic when they say that a 9-darter is maybe not as hard as a 147? He finishes the tournament with a 147.
Great to see the emotion coming out of him. He's no doubt felt the nerves, he's felt the pressure, the demands to go back to back. The fact that only 4 players have ever done it in the PDC era tells you just how difficult it is. You look at the great Michael Van Gogh and he hasn't managed it. But now the youngster from Warrington, Luke Littler, has. What a night, what a performance. The disappointment there for Van Veen. Never really ran his race tonight, having been outstanding through the tournament himself. But Luke Littler is going to be £1 million richer, but for him, it is about the title, it is about the glory, and he is now a 2-time champion.
Our presentation on behalf of Prostate Cancer UK, the chosen charity of our title sponsors, Paddy Power. We are delighted to welcome an absolute legend with 6 Olympic titles and 11 World Championships. Please show your appreciation for the legend that is Sir Chris Hoy. And ladies and gentlemen, our Chief Executive, Matthew Porter of the PDC. Firstly, ladies and gentlemen, what a player. Our runner-up, receiving his trophy and £400,000. It's the Dutch number 1, the giant, Gian van Veen.
Well, probably for the first time tonight, he does get a smile on his face, Gian van Veen, as he collects his prize money and his runners-up trophy. You've got to remember, this lad had never won a game here prior to this year. The European champion got his first win on the stage, and he made it all the way through to the final.
Look on the bright side, Mark, because they used 2 boards in the final, they can have one each. Maybe Gian can have the one with the blood on it, and Littler can have the one that he won the title on with the 147, and it had to be double 15, didn't it? Second time the double 15's been hit to win the title as well. That was done by Taylor in the 90s.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for as we crown our winner. Receiving the record £1 million, the coveted Sid Waddell Trophy. And ladies and gentlemen, for the second time, and only the 4th player in history to win back-to-back titles, as we crown him the Paddy Power World Darts Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, for the second time, he is the 2-time back-to-back champion of the world. It's Luke the Nuke
A very emotional Luke Littler makes his way forward. So Chris Hoyer's had an accident, hasn't he, on his bike? He's got the leg brace on. They exchange a few words, and Sir Chris invites Luke to lift the trophy. Nearly made his first mistake of the night. He nearly dropped it. But here we go. He's a very, very emotional young man. And why wouldn't he be? Luke Littler goes back-to-back at Alexandra Palace, and he'll already be a red-hot favourite to make it 3 when he comes back here at the end of the calendar year. He cradles a trophy like it's his baby. He is so, so good at the moment. What a performance, Paul Nicholson. Biggest win in the final since 2009 when Taylor batted another Dutchman in Raymond van Barneveld by the same 7-1 score. But put it into words if you can. How good is this young lad from Warrington? What great scenes for him.
We are witness to genius, and he's only just starting. Now, everybody who hears what he does, who sees what he does, it is up to them to try and stop him. And he, because he's so mature for 18 years of age, he knows that they will all be coming for this title and everything else he's won. But he's getting used to defending things. That's the dangerous aspect of this. Taylor was great at defending things, as was Van Gerwen. Littler is doing it too, and he's doing it at the big ones, like the Slam, like the Worlds, and he doesn't want to stop. He's making money, he's collecting silverware and breaking records, and he gets a kick out of it whilst making himself a millionaire.
Yeah, look, they say sometimes you've got to lose a final to win one. Gian van Veen, it's still, despite the disappointment of tonight, you have to look back at it and say it's been a great tournament for him.
Absolutely, he's now the Dutch #1, and he displaced the best Dutch player of all time in MVG after 13 and a half years. That's taken one heck of an effort to get to number 3 in the world. He's not at number 2. Luke Humphries has kept that because Luke Littler's won this final. But it'll be really interesting to see Van Veen in the Premier League. That invitation is assured and rubber stamped. So now he has to rest up ahead of some very important stuff at the end of January at the PDC World Masters, and then the season will start in about 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, it will indeed. We'll have reaction to come over on talkSPORT and on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. Please do like and subscribe if you want to get involved with all the content there. We've spoken to Luke Littler every time he's won, and I'm sure he'll be full of joy and happiness. I think it's a relief. You can see now the relief coming out of him that he's got it done, because forget about the money. It's easy. It's £1 million he's just won, but it isn't about that for him. He's already, as we said earlier, he's earned £2 million prior to this.
Exactly. I don't think it's about the money. It's about the representation that he's the first person to win the million. He's the £1 million man. That's going to be another nickname that follows him his entire career. It could be £2 million for the World Championship final in about 10 years. But remember Trevor Francis? He was always the £1 million man. Luke Littler is the Trevor Francis of darts.
Yeah, he is. And to do it in the style that he did, the average 106.02, 46% on the doubles tonight, 16 maximums. He's just overpowered Gian tonight, hasn't he? He's disappointing for Gian because he is such a good player. He's been so good. His tournament average is just short of 102, which is phenomenal in its own right.
Yeah, to say that Van Veen's had a bad game and he's averaged just under 100 tells you where his game is at. When he's fresh, recharged, look at the titles he could win over the next 12 months. He's going to be dangerous wherever he goes. And because he's got youth and wisdom, he's going to be a threat in the Premier League on debut. And you know for a fact that these guys are going to be playing on week 1 against each other. It's tradition. World Championship final rematch. Let's have them go at it, because this has been plotted as the next big rivalry.
I remember listening to talkSPORT after he lost his first ever world final to Luke Humphries here a couple of years ago, and people ringing and said, I'm not really sure what he's going to do. I don't think he can do it again. He came back and won it last year, beat Michael van Gerwen. Now he's come back and defended his title. Phil Taylor won 16. I'm not sure anyone believes Littler will be around long enough to reach that kind of number, but if he had to draw a line in the sand, how many do you think he's going to get?
8. I think is a pretty good number for him, for his age, for the kind of career that he wants to have. If he makes the final again in 2027, he's the only person alongside Phil Taylor who's made 4 or more consecutive finals. Gary Anderson's the only other person who have made 3 consecutive finals. Even Michael van Gerwen, as great and as unbelievable as he has been in his career, he couldn't make 3 consecutive finals, and he couldn't defend this. Littler is doing things that MVG couldn't do, and we've got to start taking notice of that.
Yeah, well, he is a winner in a year of absolute domination from Luke Littler, in which he came here as the defending champion. He's won the World Match Play, he's won the Grand Slam, he's won the Grand Prix, he's won the Players' Championship Finals, and now he is a back-to-back world champion. For Gian van Veen, this feels like a stepping stone, and I'm sure when the dust settles and he bounces back from it, I think we might see him on the World Series of Darts going to Bahrain and Saudi Arabia in January.
He's absolutely the kind of player that we need for the image of this sport. Even though we're breaking walls down and going to new countries, we need to look at the image of this sport for the next 50 years. Because the past 50 years, we're still a little tarnished by Joe Public's opinion on the street. That's changing rapidly. But with people like Luke, with Humphries, with Van Veen, and all of the other young stars coming through, like Bo Greaves and the others, we are changing the image of this sport. And hand on heart, myself, Mace, and everybody involved in this sport, that's what we want. We are custodians of a great sport. We want it to be great for the next 50 years. And with people like Van Veen and Littler, we're in great hands.
Yeah, we are indeed. Coming up next on talkSPORT, it will be Fight Night with David Farrer and Spencer Oliver. Well, it was a bigger World Championship than we've ever been used to. 128 players came and chanced their arm. We had winners for the first time on the stage from the likes of Switzerland, Stefan Belmont. We had a winner from Africa in David Munya. And we've had winners from all around the world. The great Paul Lim making it through to the second round as well. Darts really is a worldwide sport now. But for all the contenders that came, there could only be one winner. And that winner is now a back-to-back world champion. Thanks to everyone that's got involved with the coverage. Producer Matt has been with us every step of the way as ever here at the Alexandra Palace. Thanks to yourself, Paul, Chris Mason and Ian Danter, our team, Chris Murphy, who joined us as well here, and Laura Turner, who helped us out with Scott Mitchell as well across the Christmas period. Great work from everyone. Thanks to the millions of views we've had on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. They're all massively appreciated. The darts keeps on getting bigger, but the problem for the darting world, Luke Littler, keeps on getting better. It's Littler's world. He's back-to-back champion at the Palace. Luke Littler beats Gian van Veen by 7 sets to 1.